It's hot. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about why a lot of Christians are hopeless romantics, and it's pretty much in our DNA as a believer. Like, if you believe in Jesus, you're more than likely gonna be a hopeless romantic. It's gonna happen. What's poppin', people? Welcome back to my channel. As you saw in the beginning, we're going to be talking about why a lot of Christians are hopeless romantics. And if you are that Christian that tries to suppress those hopeless romantic wants and desires, do not, because you have every right to do so, and I'm going to explain it to you in just a few minutes. But before we get into the meat of this video, I'm going to remind you guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video with a friend. When you do so, drop a peaches in the comments, and now we can get started. All right, so if you're like me at all, you love romance. You like to see the romantic movies. You like to see, you know, people coming together out of genuine love. Like, you just love the idea of it, the thought of it, and you want that for yourself. That is perfectly fine. I used to be that person that thought it was kind of corny or childish or unrealistic to think that the things that happen in the movies can actually happen for me in real life. And the Lord convicted me on that because as a believer, we have literally the best love story ever written. So if you honestly think about the act of going to the cross on Jesus' part, that was an act of love, and everything leading up to Jesus' birth was an act of love. So if you think of like his lineage, I'm not going to go into every single person, but the key people. You got Ruth and Boaz, you got King David, and you have Mary and Joseph, and obviously you have Adam and Eve, right? So if you think of those people, if you think of Ruth and Boaz, Ruth, as I've talked about on my channel before, she had to operate in faith, she had to operate in trust, she had to operate in love in order to get Boaz. Boaz had to hear from the Lord. Boaz had to be a man of God in order to understand that this is the person that God has for him at the time. I have a video, I'll link it here so you guys can watch it, because I'm not gonna elaborate right now because I'll take forever. But regardless, they have a beautiful, beautiful love story once you really dissect and really dilute it, you know? Then we have Adam and Eve. If you want to go to the beginning even further, I've explained this in a previous video. I will link here as well. Basically, from my dissection and my understanding of the story, there are so many different, you know, messages you can get from the story of Adam and Eve and how we have the fall of humanity, pretty much. But something that I got in kind of a revelation that the Lord gave to me was that, you know, Adam had to be put under anesthesia, in my mind. Watch the video, you can understand what I'm saying. He had to become vulnerable. The Lord had to perform surgery in order for him to get who he needed in order to help him. Because take note, when the Lord said it's not good for man to be alone, he did not immediately make Eve. He started to make animals, and then he made Eve and then brought Eve to Adam. And now we have the first man and woman on the earth, and we have the first couple, which is husband and wife. So to me, that is just a beautiful story of love, because Adam did not, you know, grow weary in well-doing. He did not get annoyed with the Lord and getting frustrated because the Lord didn't make a woman first. He was patient. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing, and the Lord in due time brought Eve to him. Then we can go a little further. We have Abraham and Isaac. If you guys do not know that story, I don't have a video on it, but if you guys don't know that story, basically Abraham was promised a son. His only son at the time was Isaac, and that was a blessing in itself because Isaac was born from a woman who was up in age, and so was Abraham. The Lord tested Abraham's faith in him by telling him to go and kill his only son. Because Abraham knew the promises of God, he knew that God would not lead him astray, he knew that God would not, you know, do anything that he couldn't handle pretty much. He really had faith and trust, and he was a great friend of the Lord. He took his son to go kill him. Once the Lord saw that he was being obedient and willing to sacrifice his only son, his major promise, his major blessing, his major blessing, then the Lord provided a ram in a bush and basically sent an angel to let him know, because of your faith, I see you. I just want to test you. You passed. You're not going to kill your only son. I'm not going to have you kill your only son. You're going to kill this ram, and then all the nations that come from you are going to be blessed from here on out. Right, so we talked about a few key people, which is like Adam and Eve, Ruth and Boaz, Abraham and Isaac. And then if you guys are not aware, Ruth and Boaz, they had Obed, who had Jesse, who had David. And then from David, his lineage was all the way to Joseph, who was the father of Jesus, because he is the husband to Mary. And so when I had to really look at the lineage and really figure out, okay, obviously, Lord, you know, we have the greatest love story because you literally died for us, like sacrificed your life. But also leading up into his birth was a beautiful love story and all together, because it wasn't just romantic love. It wasn't just, you know, lovey-dovey stuff and kissing. It was Everything that happened leading up into Jesus' birth was an act of love, either through trusting, either through faith, either through sacrifice, either through, coming out of your comfort zone, or, believing that you are pregnant and being a virgin, and Joseph even staying with Mary when the angel told him she's pregnant with God's son. Like, all those things are acts of love, okay? So as a Christian and as a believer, when we are in the world and we want the man or the woman who's going to genuinely love us, and we want those people who are going to be thoughtful and care for us and look out for us and want to protect us and want to be around us, that is perfectly fine and an understandable desire to have because of who we serve and who our Father is. So again, Jesus' love for us obviously was proven when he went to the cross, but his whole story leading up until his birth was a love story. And if you think of, I've talked about this on my video as well. If I could remember what it is, I'll link it here. But I talked about love. And the Bible literally tells us what love is and what love is not. It says love is patient and kind. Love does not boast. Love does not envy. And obviously, if you guys really want to dissect it, you probably have to read the whole Bible leading up to Matthew. So that's like the whole Old Testament leading up to Jesus' birth. But if you're really looking at it, looking for the love in the situation and actually understanding what the word love means in terms of God's definition, not the world's definition, because for some reason the world decided that sex is synonymous with love, and that is just not the case. But if you actually look for the love, the acts of love in the Bible, you will find them, and they all lead up to Jesus' birth and afterwards, of course. But again, as a Christian, as a believer, we are going to want the desire of genuine love, the romance in the movies, because we had it before. Like, we're a part of it right now as we're living and breathing, as we are born again, as we are, serving the Lord. We're going to have those desires because it's just in us. It's in our bloodline. It's in us to want that because it's already been shown to us before. So if someone's literally telling you that's unrealistic to pray about in a man or unrealistic to want in a woman, and nobody's like that, do not take that on, because it's very realistic. The desires that you want, good desires, are possible. You just cannot go throughout this world thinking the way the world thinks when it comes to love and relationships. Like, don't look at a relationship as a business transaction. Look at it as something that you actually want, something that you actually want to nurture and you want to care for. Because what I see a lot in like relationship videos and people having conversation is they're always looking at, what is this person getting? What am I going to get out of this relationship? What are they going to give to me? And what can I give to them? Like, people are always looking for what they are going to get. We live in a very, very selfish world, a very selfish generation, and it's sad and it sucks, but that's the world we live in. But that doesn't mean we have to accept that kind of behavior, because if you are really in love with someone and you really love this person, like genuinely, the things that are male roles or female roles or things that you think are obligations because you are male or female, they're not going to feel like that, because out of genuine love, you're just going to want to do it. Once something becomes an obligation, that means it's no longer a desire, because once you feel like you're obligated to do something, the desire to do it just out of the goodness of your heart goes away, because now this is a chore. This has become a job. When you do things out of genuine love for somebody, that's not the case. Like, the desire to do them you're going to want to do them because you love them, not because you're a male or a female, not because you're in a relationship with them and you really don't want to be, or you're just trying to figure life out right now. You're going to do things because you want to be a blessing, because you want to show them how much you love for them. You want to show them how much you care. And what this generation has done is they have turned networking and trying to get to that next level into this distorted way of thinking of that's how you show your love for someone. You give so you can get. When biblically, you give to give because Christ was given to you. It's not just, I'm going to give you this so I can get this in return. Like, don't try to manipulate love. Don't try to manipulate your relationships. You give because you actually want to. You're not expecting anything in return. And the person that's going to bless you is God above. He's going to bless you with a changed heart in that person, with that person having genuine love for you, and they're going to want to do for you like you are doing for them because they have genuine love for you as well. But if you're going in this world thinking that you have to give to get, and you got to sleep with this person for them to love you or for them to want to be around you, you got to change up how you dress and how you talk to be accepted, you're never going to find genuine love, because you are only operating in a position. I'm trying to say this where you guys understand it, if you're not understanding already. I got this. I think I have a way that you guys are gonna understand what I'm saying, okay? When you are trying to manipulate your situation, you're trying to convince someone to actually be in love with you, and you're trying to do things in order to get them to be in love with you, you are automatically playing on defense. Now, I know that kind of sounds confusing, because people who play on offense, they're being proactive. So you could think that, hey, I'm doing this person sees that I really care about them, I really love them. So you would think that you're playing on offense because you're being proactive. You're trying to make them see, that you have the upper hand. No. When you're trying to manipulate somebody, when you are trying to force someone to love you, or you're trying your best to get this person to see you, you are playing on defense in the spiritual realm, because when you are constantly being reactive, that means you are constantly waiting for something to happen. You're constantly waiting for the ball to drop. You're waiting for that person to threaten to leave you. You're waiting for that person to walk out of your life. You're literally waiting for that person to talk down to you or try to manipulate you, or you're literally waiting for anything bad that can happen in the relationship that you want. You're waiting for someone to say, yeah, you'll never be married. You're waiting for the dream guy or the dream girl to never show, or to be disappointed when you think it's them and then it's not them. You're waiting for disappointment. And when you're doing that, you're not operating in faith. You are operating in doubt and insecurity and fear and unbelief. And those are things that we just cannot do, because once we think so much about something, that's what we're putting into the atmosphere, because eventually what's in us is going to come out, and we're going to speak these things. You're going to say, I don't think I'll ever find the guy. I don't think I'll ever find the right one. I think I'll be single forever. You are speaking these things over your life. Even the songs that you sing about heartbreak and everything like that, you're speaking heartbreak and sadness over your life. But again, playing on offense, which means you are proactive in terms of your faith, in terms of believing for what you ask God for. That means you are speaking already what you want, and you know that because you spoke it and you believe it, that it's going to come. That's being proactive. You want to be proactive. You do not want to play on the offensive when it comes to relationships. And I hope I'm not rambling. I hope I'm making sense. If I am, once again, drop a peaches. If I'm not, let me know, and I'll try to elaborate on this again in a different video. But you guys, it is a-okay to be a hopeless romantic. The fact that you're a hopeless romantic, it just means you have Christ in you. You have God's bloodline in you. It's in you. You can't help it. We have the best love story ever written. Our Father literally showed the best way of telling us he's a ride or die, because he literally died. And we want that in a person. That does not mean to expect that person to be perfect, because literally there is only one perfect person that ever walked this earth, and that was Jesus. So do not expect someone to be perfect just because they're God sent. They're human like you are. They're gonna make mistakes. We're all gonna make mistakes. So just do not give that do not put that unrealistic pressure on somebody else. But do not downplay yourself and decrease your expectations and morals and values and desires because you don't think it can actually happen, because it can. We have the desires because, again, it's in our bloodline. Hope this video made sense. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, hit that follow button, share this video with a friend, drop a peaches in the comments when you do so. And do not forget that 5-Day Fridays, which is where I break down key Bible and life principles in under 5 minutes, are now on my Instagram. I post them on Fridays, obviously, and that's really just to kickstart your weekend with some encouragement, with some motivation, with some inspiration. It's only 5 minutes, so you're not going to miss them. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.